Hello, welcome to K-Learn Classroom TV. I'm John.
And I'm Caden.
And we would like to thank Coach Don Meyer for stopping by to talk to us today. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, guys. I can't wait for this interview.
How big of an honor was it to receive the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance, and what does that award mean to you?
Well, really, the only reason I got the award was because I was dumb enough to drive a Prius into a semi-truck, and then they found that I had carcinoid cancer, which is a slow-growing cancer. I'm pretty fortunate. But Buster only did, when they did that piece on E60, I think it's called, that got sort of attention, and he's really the guy that should get all the credit for me getting on that ESPY program. But it was a great chance to say some things maybe that would help some people, so it was a great opportunity, but we were always glad to get back to South Dakota, to tell you the truth.
ESPN's Buster Olney has recently released a book that tells the story of your life. Did this come as a surprise to you that he wanted to write about you, or? Well,
he covered us when we were coaching in Nashville at David Lipscomb University. He was our beat writer from the Nashville Banner, and after that he went to San Diego to cover the Padres, and he went to Baltimore with the year that Ripken broke the record for the streak, and then he went to New York with the Mets, and then he got traded to the Yankees to cover them, and he went through 4 consecutive World Series. So that was a great run for him. And then he wrote his writing for ESPN the magazine, and he does a ton of stuff for ESPN with baseball. And he just like a friend, so he's been out 7 or 8 times, so it's really not like he was writing a book. We're just visiting and talking, and he put stuff down, and he did a great job with the book. We've had more people tell us they were laughing one minute, crying the next, and people that had no interest in sports, they loved the book, they couldn't put it down. So it's moving really well, and that's a credit to him. He's a great author.
So recently you decided to step down from your coaching duties. Was that a hard decision, or did you have your mind set?
Well, it's sort of 2 parallels. When we were in the hospital and trying to come back, stay alive, big factor was that we had to get back because our team really needed us. And then after maybe 1.5 years of coaching, when I came back, I just realized, talking with my wife Carmen, that I didn't have the physical endurance or the mental stamina to be able to do what you have to do 16 to 18 hours a day coaching a college basketball team. And so then it was easy to get out because it was the right thing for the program, just like it was the right thing to come back after the wreck. So I'm now working for our president and trying to help us increase our enrollment. We had a 22% enrollment increase at Northern this year, and we think it'll be even better next year. So it's a great thing to be involved in that, and then I do a lot of speaking around the country.
So you're the winningest coach in any division in the NCAA history. That just doesn't happen by putting good players on the court. What do you do to get most of your players every single year?
Well, I think you have to recruit kids that are willing to work hard. That's the biggest thing. They may be A in talent. If they're B in mindset, they're going to have a hard time being a good player. So what we try to do is get kids that want to work hard, and we've really been fortunate that way, obviously, to have great teams because of the way the guys cared about each other. And you always can play a little harder or work a little harder when you like the people and care about the people you work with. So that's a big thing. And then we wanted to be sound in what we did in terms of our teaching and the way we taught the techniques and our system of play. And then we wanted to be solid in terms of integrity and academics and behavior and just the kind of people that we had. And then last of all, we wanted to be simple, because the more players think, the slower their feet get. So we didn't want them thinking too much. We wanted it to be an automatic thing that they knew what to do every time.
Have you changed your coaching at all from when you began to when it ended? Did your coaching change that much?
I think over 38 years as a head coach, I started out as an insane maniac, and now I'm just insane. So I've improved some, but you change every day in coaching, slight there's a slight change in that you learn something or you read something or you mess up a relationship with a player or something works with the player, and you sort of log it in your memory bank without even knowing it. And I think every coach, the toughest thing is obviously going from being an assistant coach to being a head coach. They always say that's the biggest 18-inch jump in the world, changing from one seat to the next. And being a head coach, you really learn a lot more. It puts a lot more pressure on you.
With the amount of success you've had in the coaching career that you've had, what advice do you have for like the young coaches that are just up and coming and starting off their careers? Well,
some coaches have said don't get into coaching unless you're sick for it and you really can't live without it. I've always felt that you should coach because you love the kids and you love the game. But the other factor I think that's involved in it is you have to realize when you go into coaching it takes a tremendous commitment. So that's going to have an effect on your family life, your social life. And you're not going to be able to do a lot of the things a lot of people do. And sometimes you'll even be in a gathering with people and you won't really be there because you're still thinking about your team. So you have to realize it takes a tremendous emotional and physical toll on your body. And just with Urban Meyer getting out last few days and people that just all of a sudden decide they just can't do it anymore. It's a great example. Any profession like medicine or coaching or teaching, when you're really into it, you develop some great skills, but you also have those erode a little bit because of the pressure and the stress.
Or what are your plans now that you're done coaching?
Well, I just try to, every morning I wake up, I try to think, boy, I'm alive and I got something to do. And then I line up what I've got to get done, and I usually have done that the night before. But I just want to live each day to the fullest and help our school as much as I can. And if I can do that, and then have more time with our family, which we've been able to have, get a lot of speaking engagements where we fly through Nashville where our 3 kids and 8 grandkids are, so we can get to see them.
Throughout your whole career as a coach, is there one moment that sticks out, or is there one favorite moment that you've ever had?
No, I remember all the bad moments, like getting kids out of jail because they were stupid and did something dumb, or I can remember losing big games that we should have won or could have won. And no, nothing really sticks out, and that's one of the good things of getting old. You have a lot of memory loss. It all sort of runs together. And then the longer you're out of coaching, obviously, the more you know. And when you go to watch games as a fan, then you become really smart. So the more games I can watch as just a fan, I'll really begin to learn the game of basketball.
With all the time that you've put into coaching and everything, and all the relationships that you've had, is there anything that you kind of regret about anything, or?
Well, you always regret that. You always think you could do it better. I think the really great coaches are much, much more critical of themselves than anybody on the outside could be. And the really great coaches, they ignore whatever anybody else thinks on the outside because they don't really know if you don't go to practice. I mean, it's just like an English teacher. How can you criticize an English teacher unless you go watch the classroom and what they're doing in the classroom? So, no, I think there are many, many things I regret in coaching. And then there are some things I feel good about. But the most important thing is to teach kids to be a team and to work together, because prior to popular belief, life is a team sport, and you have to work well with people. So that's one of the benefits of athletics in the team sport realm, is you learn to accept failures in other people and shortcomings, and then you realize that you have plenty of those yourself.
You're Coach Meyer. I'd just like to thank you for coming on to our show, and thanks for being here and letting us question you.
Well, I want to thank you for not letting Jim Trett be on the show with me. That made it a lot better.
Thank you for watching K-Learn Classroom TV.